Hi everyone, today we are going to perform one activity in Azure Data Factory which is a stored procedure. So I will first of all define what this stored procedure is all about and what is the use case which we are going to achieve as a part of this session. Right, so we have one table. I will quickly show you in this SQL database, right? I will also show you how we can go in where we have written stored procedures. So this is our database and we'll go in programmability, right? And this is our stored procedure name, right? If you click on modify, then it will get open, right? And tables. I will show you. So this is the table customer taste, right? So if I show you in this customer taste table, we are having as of now 5 records available, right? Now through stored procedure, what we are trying to achieve here is if the customer ID doesn't exist, then we are going to insert that customer data in that table, customer taste table. And if customer ID already exists, then in that case, we are going to update address or company name, contact title, city, region, postal code, country, phone, and fax as per the requirement, right? So this is the thing which we are going to achieve, and in this case, the as I mentioned, right, this data which is exist on Microsoft SQL server, right, and we are going to perform a stored procedure on ADF, so that is on cloud. So as we know, in ADF we have three type of integration runtime, and out of that two are widely used. One is your Azure integration runtime, where we have to perform any operation between cloud to cloud, then we are using that integration runtime. And here in this scenario, we will use self-hosted integration runtime, where our SQL server is on premises, and this stored procedure is in our this activity is available under Azure Data Factory, which is in cloud, right? So that's why this we will do through self-hosted integration runtime. Now we will understand as well this what this stored procedure basically doing here. Me let me increase this. Yeah. So what this stored procedure basically doing here? Stored procedure is a prepared SQL code that you can save, so the code can be reused over and over again, right? So if you have a SQL query, right? So like this is the SQL query that you write or we have written over, and which we can use over again and again, right? Save it as a stored procedure and then just call it to execute it, right? A stored procedure, basically we can also call it as a pre-compiled set of SQL statement that can be executed as a single unit, and it's typically stored in a database, right? And can be called by name, right? So this is the name of our stored procedure: create, update, customer details, right? And this stored procedure, there are various use cases, like for data movement, you might use a stored procedure to read data from a source database or write data to a destination database, right? So for that purpose also we can use data transformation, and in your custom logic also, if you have a specific business rule or calculation, you can encapsulate them in a stored procedure and execute them from ADF. So these are the various use cases where we can use a stored procedure. Now I will show you this stored procedure which I have just written before this session. So if you see, this is the first step where we are creating or altering a stored procedure here. So this is our schema name, and this is our stored procedure name, right? And these are parameters which we are passing, or which is available in table as well, right? The second step here is that we are calculating the count of customer ID. So here at the rate count is a local variable and which is defined with integer, right? So first of all, what it will do, this stored procedure, it will because our intention is to, if record doesn't exist, then we have to insert it, and if record exists, then we have to update it, their address or their company name kind of things, right? So first of all, we'll try to find out the customer ID which we are trying to insert or update, whether that is already an existing or it's a new member. So if we get a count, let's say we get a count of 0, right? So if we get a count of 0, it means that the customer ID doesn't exist in our table. So in that case, we are going to perform this insert operation, right? And if count we get other than 0, it means that we are going to perform update operation, right? And here you can see these are the parameter which we are passing here at the rate customer address, at the rate company name, contact name. So these we call it as a parameter in stored procedure. Now we'll quickly go into our Azure Data Factory, right? So here I have already created, but I will show you how we can create a stored procedure. So we'll go in our pipeline, and what I will do, I will create a new pipeline, right? And I will search here stored procedure, right? And we'll drag here. So we can see here when we have drag, it comes under this general, right? So we can fill name, description, activity state, whether activate or deactivate. So we have already seen all this and we already aware of all this. So I'm quickly going to the setting part where we have to configure our setting before performing any operation, right? So what we will do here, linked services. So first of all, we have to select our links. So this is my link service which I have configured here for linking our on-premises data with cloud, right? So in your case, this link service name would be as per your what you have configured in your system. Again, it is asking stored procedure name. So in a stored procedure name, let me, yeah, it is loading. So yeah, it will show you all the stored procedure which is exist in your Microsoft SQL server, right? So as we have created this SQL stored procedure, so I will select this. You have an option also, don't, you can't be, one option is you can scroll it and you can select any of them, right? The other option is just you cancel it, enter manually and go into the parameter, and here I will write here stored procedure name, and here we will give the stored procedure names. Our stored procedure name is basically, this is the stored procedure name. So we'll copy this and we'll go here and paste it, right? And again I will go here and I will click here and it will show me the stored procedure name. So this is the way we are parameterizing the stored procedure name, right? Now in the next step is to click on this import, right? So what this import will do, right, this import the parameters, automatically import all the parameters defined in my stored procedure, right? So if you see here in your uh, stored procedure, if I show you, so these are the parameters, right? Customer ID at the rate for insert, customer address, company name, contact title, right? City, region, postal code, country, phone number, fax, right? So these are the parameters which we need to pass here. Even for update also, we are seeing all this at the rate customer address, at the rate company name, right? So these are the parameters which we are going to pass against our table column, which is address, company name and contact name, right? So if I show you here and if I click on OK, so you will see all the parameters uh, which is defined in your stored procedure will reflect here. it is taking time, but yeah, you can see here city, company name. So basically this is all at the rate, but we can't give here at the rate. So these are the parameters which we are going to pass, right? So that is the first thing, and you have a flexibility where you can parameterize all this value, right? So to parameterizing, because our intention is to pass all this value at parameter level, not at activity level, right? So what we will do here, we will go here and we will add, let's say I'm adding customer ID, I am adding company name, right? And we'll go here. I'm just for the time being, I'm adding only these two fields, and I will go here and I will show you. So these are the two fields I have added, company name and customer ID. I will go here and I can select here as a company names and okay, right? Similarly, customer ID, we'll go here and select customer ID. So similar way, you can define all rest of the values here in parameter section, and you can further parameterize, do a parameterization and give a value, define a value here, right? So it means that uh, 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 whatever value you are going to provide, that is at on parameter level, not on activity level, right? So I will quickly show you once you fill all this data, right? So this is the data which we are passing at parameter level, and if I show you in setting, right? So all this I have already parameterized, right? So now I will validate this and everything looks okay. Then we are going to debug it, and let's say I am going to run this. Okay. So you can see here this stored procedure is now running, right? It will take some time to get a success. We can refresh it. Yeah. So we can see here this stored procedure is successful now. Now what we will do here, we will go in our SQL database. So as of now, we are seeing there are only 5 record exist, right? So right now we are inserting new record. So let me refresh or let me execute this table query. Yeah, so we can see here now once the stored procedure gets successfully completed, a new record get inserted, right? So because this DAPRA customer ID was not exist, that's the reason here that insert operation has done. So that's all about stored procedure, how we are using, how we are defining. Thank you.